So, okay, guys, not sure what was going on. Hoping this will fix it. So what I've done now is, oh shit. Okay, so everything that could have gone wrong today has gone wrong, and I apologize for that. I was trying a new fancy camera, and I don't really know what is the issue. To be fair, I thought the quality would be a lot better, but clearly there is something very wrong with it. Okay, let me see if I can clean this lens. Right, okay, here we go. So, quickly, the kind of stuff that I was going through as you guys were telling me that my sound was off, etc. I was showing you the stickers for this month on Patreon. This is the big sticker, and I'm really happy about it. I scanned it right away from my sketchbook, and same with a small sticker. It's this tiny little design that I kind of drew in a corner of one of my pages. So I'm quite happy about these too. And obviously, if you are one of the members of the Magic the Gathering tier or necromancer, you'll be getting this beauty here, this hologram angel that, as you all know, we worked on it together, and I'm very pleased with how it came out. You've seen all the process from inking it to coloring to final stage. So there we go. Okay, now I'm trying to work out how I'm going to check on the chat. Okay, so I'll have to keep an eye out on the screen every now and then. Let me see if there's a way to kind of have a look at my chat here. No, I can't really look at it there. 2 seconds. Okay. Right. Okay. Well, let's actually get inking, which is what we're here for. Apologies for all the kind of technical issues I had. Clearly, my super new fancy camera is not ready for a live stream. I'll look into it and we'll try use it next time. I'm not sure if you guys see an actual difference in the quality of the video. In that case, it's not worth using it since obviously the sound was choppy and everything was kind of weird. So anyway, here's the pen that I was kind of loading up for you guys. Let me turn the lights off here. Okay. And this is one of the panels that I'm really looking forward to inking. And here on this page is an aerial view of Bianca looking at some destroyed bits of, well, I don't want to tell you exactly what it is, as I don't want to ruin the story for you. But let's get inking with this one. And then yeah, also let me say hi to Jonas, to Nick, to Cool Tunes, to Podoko. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. And let's get going with this. Okay. In Bianca's hair here. Actually, I think let me have another go at cleaning one of the lenses. Okay. I think that's a lot better. All right. All right, Jim is here. Okay, let's get on with it. Okay, well, a lot of technical issues that kind of took away the attention from what we're here for, but we're back, and hopefully I can edit it all out for the recorded version of this. Yeah, I've been working really hard these days on Volume 4, inking a lot of pages. I think this week I've been inking about 3 pages. This is the 4th page of this week, so quite pleased about it actually. Um, think I think my range on pages that I can do in a week is about 4 max. I can do 5 like when I'm really rushing, but there is something about doing pages in a rush that doesn't feel right. So I hope I can kind of keep this pace without feeling rushed. Okay. Right, Jim. Streaming from my phone now. But before I was trying to do it with a fancy camera, but it didn't work out. Which is a bit of a bummer, really, because I spent quite a bit of money on it. I mean, it's not only for live streaming anyway, but I thought it will kind of improve the quality of the live stream. From what we've seen, it just kind of made it worse. So we'll see. We'll see how we get on with it. But yeah, right now I'm streaming with my phone, and I've got one of those tripods that you attach to your desk, and it has a little attachment where you can put your phone on, and that's kind of it. It's a very basic setup. And if you're very interested in it, I can always take a picture of it later, and I can post it on Patreon for you to see. Okay, we're working on Bianca's hammer. So cool tunes, yeah. Yeah, obviously I don't want to rush a book. This is the last book I'm doing for Birking. It's volume 4, it's the final volume, and I want to enjoy every second of it. But as you know, there is other kind of things in play: deadlines, publishers, editors, and they all want everything done now and quickly, which obviously I'm trying not to do. But it's difficult not to fall into that whole trying to get things done quickly and try to get it out of the door, which I don't really like. Okay. I need a thicker pen for this bit that I'm doing here. So just let me get close it properly, and we'll bring in the thicker pen here. This is the IndieGraph flexible nib, and what it means is that this nib opens up a little bit more, releasing more ink than the other pen that I'm using. So let's give that a try. So I could just do this with a brush, but there is something about the scratchy look that I really like about it. And I want to keep a lot of that texture. Yeah, thanks, Jim. Yeah, I really hope I get the camera to work. Obviously, it was a bit of an investment, and I don't want it to be sitting there gathering dust while I'm filming all the live streams with my phone. But I'm just glad that we kind of sorted it out. I thought I was going to have to call it a day today, and once I saw a few of you leaving and not being able to kind of tune in, so I thought, oh, fuck it, I'll deal with the camera later and just did it the way we used to do it anyway. And here we are. Okay. Hope you guys are doing okay today. Hope you're having a good day so far. Here in the UK, we've been having really sunny days, which really changes the kind of mood in general. You come out to the streets and everyone's smiling. It's kind of like that every year, um, which makes the day a lot easier. Not that I've been able to enjoy a lot of the sun really, because I've been here inking and making comics and doing my thing. But you know, it's good to see people in a good mood. Um, okay, that's kind of what we have there. Uh, that's a flexible nib, so I'm going to put that aside, and we're going to go back to this guy, which is the EF, which is extra fine nib. It's a lot thinner and it has more control on the ink. And we're going back to it. Let me accommodate this here. Okay. All right, here we go. All right, I've got a message. By the way, I am on one side of my studio inking, and I'm trying to read your messages from the chat on my computer on the other side of the room, but I made the letters really big, so I'm trying to read it from here. Okay, so Mass, hello again, CROM. I was able to catch the stream. Luckily again, but oh, you bought Raiders in Helsinki. Oh, that's really cool. Last week, and I couldn't believe it. Unfortunately, they didn't have Birkin in the comic shop. Absolutely loved it. Wow. I'm really glad you managed to get a copy of Raiders. That's super cool. I have a soft spot for Raiders, being the first kind of mainstream comic that I made for Dark Horse. And being a Dungeons and Dragons player myself, I put a lot of love into that book. And well, I'm sure eventually you'll find a copy of Birking. Try and support your local comic shops, obviously. But if ultimately it's not easy to get, you can always get it online from all the usual suspects, online retailers. But I appreciate you supporting my work, buying the comics, and also try and support your local comic shops. Okay, Coultons. Coultons, any characters of yours you like drawn when I'm on your break? Coultons, how about you draw uh, Young from Birking? Young is one of those characters in Birking that was supposed to be only in the first issue for a few scenes, and as we developed the story, he became crucial to the whole thing, and he's got a nice kind of redemption arch. So yeah, how about you draw him? His silly hair and his tiny little kind of facial hair. That'll be quite an interesting approach to see how you draw him. I've also noticed that as I've drawn him in every chapter, he keeps on changing, and obviously that's not supposed to happen with comics, but you can't help it. You draw a character a lot of times in different positions, and from different angles, and eventually your brain keeps on adjusting things to the face and to the character itself. Okay. So what I'm drawing here is a bunch of stones and broken bits from basically a blacksmith workshop. So you can see a lot of tools and bricks all over the place. And that's kind of what we're doing on this panel here. Add a little bit of texture on the floor. I started adding these kind of tiny lines of texture when I was at university, and I was reading about, well, not reading about, but I was reading Mobius, and he could do so much with tiny lines of texture, and I was fascinated by it. And then I saw Taiyo Matsumoto doing kind of the same, and then it became a thing for me. I don't know, it really works. Really adds something else to it. Okay, let's kind of move on to this section here. A bunch of bricks, a bunch of stones. Also, thank you so much to all of you who bought the Procreate course of the digital Procreate course I have on my site, well, which I don't have anymore. I had to take it out. I'm about to go into a contract with a new provider, a new platform. So I wasn't allowed to sell my course anymore on my website. So whoever managed to get it, they have it now forever. As you know, on my website, you could have bought it and keep the files. And I think we're gonna adapt it and we're gonna sell it through a different platform now. So yeah, so if you bought it, and especially if you're a patron, you got it for a really good price, and you get to keep it forever. Okay, doing a few stones here. Oh, cool tunes about the texture. So check it out. These tiny little lines here. This is what I'm doing here. That's what I'm talking about. Adding little lines of texture to the kind of stuff that you draw in. It makes no real kind of sense. Like, I can't explain it in a logical way, but when you add them, have a look, just like that. It kind of adds something to your style. And I only started doing that when I was at university and I was reading Mobius comics. And yeah, it's just random kind of stylized things that you add to your stuff. Same as shading and line work. Yeah. All right, let's see Maz. Greatest inspiration for me. Sorry, still to this day. Oh wow. Okay, I really appreciate that, man. Honestly, I still struggle to see that. The fact that other artists see me as an inspiration to kind of do their own work, because I'm still in that mentality where I'm looking at other artists. I'm trying to learn. I'm trying to get better, and I guess it's been so many years. And my whole life has been this, just drawing and kind of get inspired by other artists and my very own heroes, artist heroes. So it's just surreal to see people like yourself who are very kind and will kind of tell me that my work actually inspires them to draw and to kind of keep on creating. So what could be greater than that as an artist, as someone who creates stuff, than generating that feeling from other creatives. Yeah, thank you so much. Okay, another rock there, and we're going to turn it off, and we'll switch it off, and you can see how that panel is looking so far. Oh, Jonas, you missed out, mate. I'm sorry. Yeah, it is a real shame. I also kind of did it last minute. I made a post on Patreon to let people know that they needed to buy it that day, because I was about to sign the contract the day after. And once the contract is signed, obviously I can't really sell the course online on my course. Sorry, on my website. Okay. Texture lines here. Here you go. More texture lines. That's right, Mas. Yeah. So Mobius does a lot of these kind of tiny little lines, and I was kind of fascinated by it when I first saw it, and I just didn't see the point of it. But at the time, I was kind of trying to kind of study all of the artists that I really like, and I started doing it, and it became kind of second nature to me to kind of add these little bits of texture. There is no real methodology behind it as to where to place them or how to place them. And with the years, as you do it, it kind of becomes a kind of gut feeling process type of thing where you just do it. Okay. More rocks. Let me make sure that this is dry. Yeah. Okay. I can rest my hand there, which you shouldn't do. In theory, I should have another piece of paper above it, but I think that's dry enough. Also, okay, let me keep an eye out on my phone. I know we ran out of battery in one of my early streams, and I don't want that to happen again. So let me kind of bring a cable to make sure that we don't run out of battery halfway through the live stream. Okay, there we go. All right, back in business. Oh yeah, Duncan Forgether in Hellboy. Yeah, he's amazing. Andrew does a little bit of the same. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, it's a lot of contemporary artists. Obviously, these days it's really hard to be a comic artist and not to be influenced by Mobius, since he was such a influential artist in that kind of medium. And obviously, a lot of us ended up absorbing that kind of style, and it all changes into different kind of variations of it. But yeah, it's always good to revisit all the masters of, as the French say, bande dessinée comics. BD. All right, so bring a lot more stones here. So I'm kind of rotating the paper so I can draw without going over the smudging the ink that I already have on the page. Okay. More lines here. Texture lines on the ground. And I think that's that panel done. You can have a look at how it's working so far. Very pleased with that. Can add a few extra texture lines to the hammer. And that's panel 2 of that page. You can see from further away here. And okay, let's work on this panel here now. Let me adjust the camera a little bit. There we go. Okay. Here we go, Bianca, panel 1. Move this out of the way. I hope you guys can see there. Obviously, if you can't see what I'm doing, or there is another angle you prefer, just let me know and I'll do my best to accommodate to you. Bianca's tiny nose. Okay. The little flicker of hair that comes out from here. There we go. Now we move on to her braids. And here she's just picking up a little bit of rock. I think it's just a brick. A lot of rubble in this frame. Okay. Spikes on her gauntlets. Texture lines here, there. Okay, back to her braids right there. Whoa, there was a dry line there. Okay. Let me check. I think I'm getting a few dry lines here. No, okay, that's looking good. Okay. Okay. All right, guys, I'm trying to concentrate here. I feel like I'm releasing too much ink on every line. Somehow they're not as thin as I'm used to seeing them. But maybe that's just my imagination. So let's finish this panel and then we'll have a look. You see, okay. Every now and then you'll have a stroke that leaves no ink behind, and that is really annoying. I call it uh, dry lines. Okay, let's see. Don't want to get dry lines all over this. Okay, we'll fill this in with black. Okay, yeah. Oh, we need to do Bianca's little scars on her face. Okay, let me see. I'm going to get a lot of ink out and use the leftover ink for that. Here we go. There we go. Okay. That worked. Pull you back up. There we go. Right. Now we move on to Amelia, who's just right behind Bianca, right here. Her usual shady eyes. Okay, under her fringe. And we're not going to fill this in with black yet. I'm going to leave some X's so I know that I need to fill it in later. Okay, guys, at 6:30, I have to put dinner out of the fridge and let it cool down. So same here, tiny X's, just so I know that I have to fill that in with black. As that will take me forever with the extra fine nib, and it will take all the ink, and I will have to kind of load the pen with ink again. Okay. Let's have a look. Oh, we got these tiny little nails here. All right, we've got Jonas. Jonas been drawing for a while now, but still feels a bit weird when he tries to learn from other artists' work. It feels like cheating. No, mate. Honestly, Jonas, don't think that. It's part of the process. You need to study the style of your favorite artists. And look, even if you were trying to copy them, which I know you're not, but even if that was the case, the stuff that you'll do will never look like this. So whatever you do is yours. It's your style. It depends on your skills and your practice. So no matter what you do, it's going to be your thing, and that's the beauty of it. So when you were a kid and you were supposed to draw stuff from memory and not use reference, that is all silly stuff. Honestly, that as an artist, you need to learn to use reference, to study, to kind of analyze stuff, and you can't just do that kind of not looking at what everyone else is doing. Obviously, there is a limit to it, but you know what I mean. Like, don't feel shame because we all do it and we've all been there, and that's the only way to learn, really. Okay. Right, so let's fill in the bits of black that I said I was going to fill in. For that, I'm going to use the brush. The brush here, this guy here, brush pen number 22. And I'm going to use the light above here. All right, so I can see what I'm doing. All right, let's do it. Gotta be quite careful here. The brush is quite broad, so I could easily go over the lines I've drawn, and obviously that wouldn't be fun. So okay, 1 second. I need to kind of know how far to go into the frame here. All right. And this little pen, you press it here and you release more ink by doing that. It's feeling a bit dry right now, actually. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Probably been using it a lot. Okay. Oh, it's getting there now. All right. Be quite careful here. No white gaps there. Okay. Let's add some texture lines here, some Mobius-like texture lines here. A bit of shadow and more texture lines over here. Okay, that's 2 panels done. Well done, As. And we move on to the next panel here. We're going here with this sad panel of Bianca crying. Let me move the camera slowly so you guys can see what I'm doing. All right. Oh, I'm going to drink a bit of water. Okay. Here we go. Okay, cool tunes. He finds it beautiful. Every artist has their own way. Use four different pens, aunts, and use ink digital and puff is valid. Absolutely. Yeah, you got to listen to cool tunes. He really knows what's up. The beauty of it all is that we all do it differently, and you are allowed to use reference and study other artists and kind of be fascinated by the way they do things and find your own way from studying all of your favorite artists. That's the way you go about it. Um, and that's why chasing a style is not advisable, as it's not really a thing. Your style will happen in time as a combination of all your work and studies from various mediums and various things. Okay. Okay, we got poor Bianca here crying. So I don't really like to draw her crying that much, but it's part of the story. Okay. X, X. We need to fill that in with black. Same here. So you can see here I'm deviating from the original sketch. I've just realized as I'm drawing this that there is something that doesn't quite fit in here. So yeah, feels a lot better. It was a minor thing, but just the direction of the arm wasn't working for me there. So I kind of went a bit different there. Not sure if you can notice what I did, but yeah. Okay. All right, guys, 6:30. I have to go and take out dinner from the fridge, so it's ready to cook in half an hour. So you guys give me 1 second. I'll be back. In the meantime, you can actually look at what the heck is it? Oh, mate, honestly, I would have taken less time. Never mind, just wait for me, I'll be back. Okay, that literally took 2 seconds, so there was no point to finding whatever I was looking for. My sketchbook, which I don't really know where it is now, but anyway, let's go back to it. Move this higher so you can actually see more. deviating again. This looks slightly different to the pose I had previously, as I'm changing slightly the pose that Bianca has in this frame. And then once I switch off the light box, I'll have a look and see what's what and try and correct it if I can. Okay, so the hammer goes all the way down here and it continues there. Okay, this looks okay. I feel like her arm goes here, so we may see a bit of her forearm there. There we go. Okay. Okay, let's bring in the flexible nib pen and fill in those bits of black. Oh, so Cool Tunes has a story about Bianca. You show your friends your current book that you're working on, and there's a character they love, and now it sucks because you gotta do a tragic scene today. Yep. Yeah, it's never nice to kind of get attached to one of your characters and then having to kind of draw them in awful situations. But you know, it's part of telling a story. Um, I'm going to assume a lot of you have read Birkin Volume One here. I'm trying to kind of not ruin it for those of you who haven't read it, but you know, there is a scene in Volume One that it was really difficult to draw, involving a horse. I'm not going to say more than that. Okay, so. Okay, got all black in there, all black in there. Okay, yeah, that's looking right. Oh, got one bit here. Gotta fill this in with black. Right, so that's that panel, and we move on to the next panel on the right, where Bianca just sitting down, looking a bit sad, and something is happening in these little bushes here. And we got some sound effects as well, so let's kind of go back to that with the extra fine pen. Okay, let me make sure I've got this right. I think I do. Okay. Here we go. Extra fine pen, back at it. Okay, right now this side here. Tiny little legs. Okay. Okay, and a lot of dry lines here. Let me double check my pen, and I shouldn't do it on top of the page. I'm just going to put this here quickly. Yeah, I've got a gap there. Right. Okay. That's a lot better. Okay. Back at it. A bit of shadow here, just to make sure it looks like she has contact with the ground there. Okay, move on to the bush here. Little shaky lines to show movement from the bush. Go. Okay, and we move on to the sound effects here. Okay. Texture, shadow there. All right, so I'm going to use the flexible nib pen for that. Put this guy to the side. Bring this one in. Ooh, I just noticed I need to fill this in with black here. So if you excuse me, I'm going to do that now while I see it. Okay. Right. Back to the sound effects. Here we go. Okay. You can see 4 panels we've done, top 2 panels, 2 panels below, and then we move to the bottom panel now, which is a close-up of the bushes right there. And I'm going to try and do that with the flexible nib so I can change the width of the strokes every time I do something new. Okay, bunch of leaves, and as they get closer to the camera, they get bigger. So that's what we're kind of doing here. Move this little bit of the bush goes behind the frame, so we'll do that. Okay. Okay, now I need to do these movement lines here, which, okay, need to be quite smooth. And I'm not sure if I've got the pulse to do this. Okay, let me see. All right, here we go. I'm gonna start right here and move all the way there. I'm gonna stand up for this. Okay. Ready? All right, let's do it. No, actually, let's start from the top and we move downwards. Okay, so I'll do this bit here first. Okay, here we go. Shit. Okay, that wasn't great. I need to rotate here. Need to get comfortable to do it. Are you guys? I hope you can still see it there. I'm gonna try second line here. I feel like I have more movement now. All right, let's see. Oh man, it's hard. I'm gonna try the other way around. Starting here and going out. That felt more natural, so I'm gonna try again. All right, well, it's not great, I'll tell you that, but it will have to do for now. Yeah, there's some shaky lines there, I'll tell you. All right. It works. I might make them thinner once I scan the page. We'll see how that works. Okay, now it's just a matter of doing the lines for the frames. Now, where's my see-through ruler? Is here. I'm gonna start from the top. Okay. Wish me luck. Gain dry lines here. Fantastic. Why? Okay. Okay, top line's done. I'm gonna move on to the next bit here. Man, this pen is really playing out right now. Okay, got it. Move to the next one. Right, let's do it. Sorry about my keys. I've got them hanging from my trousers so you can hear them clinking. All right, here we go. Okay. Move this up so you can see the lines I'm going to do here. Right, so now we do the horizontal lines. Okay. By now, these lines should be dry, so hopefully it won't be smudged by the ruler. And we're going to place them there. Okay. Okay, that's one out. Move on to the next one, right here. Okay. Here we go. Oh, that one was quite smooth actually. All right, we're going to the next one here. Right, we've got two lines here. Move this lower so you can see which lines I'm doing now. Okay. Next line. Okay, and the last two lines on the left side of the page, right here. Let's see if I can give you kind of a higher view of that. Okay, here we go. Oh shit, it wasn't that bad. I don't know if you saw that, the ruler moved at the last minute. Fortunately, it wasn't like a big line, so I can still go over that. That's okay. So that is our page right there. And let me see, that is page 41. I'm gonna mark it so it doesn't get mixed up with all the other pages. Page 41. And that's a whole page done, guys. Thank you so much for keeping me company. Thank you so much for putting up with all my technical issues that I had today. I'm going to look into it. But thank you for sticking around and keeping me company. As I always say, it's a very lonely profession, and it's nice to have you here looking at what I'm doing. So thank you very much. See you on the next live stream, which hopefully will be a lot smoother, technical wise, kind of technology wise, camera, phone, etc. And I hope you enjoy the page that we worked on today, and I'll see you next time. Bye.